Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we explore the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Milan Kohout, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced, the lessons learned, and the strategies fueling future growth. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Nuno Soares, a business coach at Life Shifter Coaching, entrepreneur, author, and advisor for tech business owners with over 20 years leading and scaling IT managed service companies. He authored Digital Transformation: How Technology Can Transform Your Business, and also holds a level 5 ILM certification in effective coaching and mentoring. Through his Life Shifter one-page plan and real method, he guides small business owners from daily operations to confident leadership using blended business and life coaching. With that being said, Nuno, let me officially welcome you to Founders Future.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you on, man. I was very much looking forward to the conversation. I'm grateful for your time. So we're going to jump right into all of this. And what I love to do at the beginning of every single episode is a bit of time traveling. So before you even had this company, your own practice, just walk us through the journey. What were you doing before? And then eventually, what was the motivation for starting this business?
Okay. So I come from a technical background. My career started as a computer programmer. So that was my first job was a computer programmer. In the 90s, I had the chance to work in a big corporation in Portugal, which was great because it was the boom of technology, especially in the business space. So I was exposed to a lot of technology and a lot of cool stuff. And that led me to, one day decided to quit my comfortable corporate job and start my first IT company, which at the time was not even called IT MSP because it was quite new, the type of concept of an IT managed service provider. So that was my first experience of running a company. Unfortunately, I failed. 2008 financial crisis was quite, brutal in Portugal, and I had to shut down that company. But I learned a lot from those years. I learned a lot about resilience, risk, and especially the things that we don't know when we go into business. Which was very beneficial because in 2010 I moved to the UK, and then 2012 I started my second company, which was completely different. Okay, so my experience helped me a lot, and I managed, to grow a company. And I started from my kitchen, a laptop, an iPhone, to have 20 people working for me, a few £1 million turnover. So it was a good journey. 2 years ago, then I decided to change a little bit again. I'm in a different stage in my life. I'm mid my 50s, so I was looking for a different challenge, and I decided to become a business coach. So that is, a timeline of events. Then we can, delve into more things if you want.
Absolutely.
I think, yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm glad that you walked us through that journey because it's quite obvious that you've been through a lot. Like you've been a part of the industry for many years at this point. And it's also beautiful to see that even after working for big, big companies and those corporates, whether that's in Portugal or UK, whatever the case might be, you still had enough courage to actually take it on your own and be like, okay, I'm gonna start something on my own. Especially after failing with the first business. But like you said yourself, it's always a good learning lesson. So I love
It
that.
is.
Now, Nuno, obviously, we're going to talk about where this journey got you overall and what the business really looks like for you today. Now, my goal coming into this part of the episode is very clear. It's just to bring and build some clarity for the audience in terms of who is it exactly that you're trying to help right now, and also what are the core offerings that you have in place for your clients. So go ahead and tell us all about it.
Okay. So what I like to do is based on my own experience. Okay, all business owners that I know, none went to business school and start a business. They all were very good technicians, operators, doing whatever they are good at. And one day, normally they quit their corporate job, one day they decide to go and start their own company. And that is great. That is amazing. Okay, so these guys, they have the know-how, the expertise, the excitement, and that is what takes the business off the ground. Okay, but because of that technician operator mindset, they are going to be the bottlenecks of growing and scaling the business. Okay. And I realized that myself. Okay. And it was when I realized that, and when I've done the shift of stopping being an operator and a technician and start being a leader in my business, that is when things really, really changed. Okay. So by having that experience, that is what I do now. I just help business owners to transition from that technician operator mentality into a leadership mentality and help them really grow and scale the business just by that. I don't look systems, process, software, dashboards, all of that stuff is important for you to grow the business. But the mindset of the founder is the most important thing, and most of the times the big bottleneck for things really to grow and scale. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I love this specificity though, because I mean, if you look at the entire industry of business coaching, business consulting, obviously it has been booming for quite some time. It's growing in
Mm-hmm.
numbers. There's a lot of professionals. But I
Yep.
think that being so specific about who you're helping, which obviously comes from your own personal experience and your background. So in a way,
Yep.
you're helping your past versions. Now, that
Yes.
is really helpful in terms of how you can communicate with your target audience and really build that authority. So I absolutely love that. And now that we have a better understanding of who it is that you're looking to help, also let's get a better understanding of what it actually feels like to be your client and how is this reflected in the way you structured your offers? Is it a one-on-one? Is it a group coaching? How does that really work?
Um, okay. So I can do both. I can do one-on-ones and I can do also group coaching. It depends of the founder and also where they are in their journey. Okay. Most of the times is one-to-ones.
Mhm.
After they work with me on a one-to-one, sometimes what happens is they love the results they get, and then they start thinking, oh, can I bring my team in? Can we do not just coaching me, but start coaching their direct team? And that is when the one-to-many or group coaching can also come in. But majority of my work is one-to-one with founders. Okay, is helping them what I call life alignment. Okay, we talk a lot about work-life balance. Work-life balance doesn't make any sense to business owners. Okay, it's not a balance. It's not working more hours or working less hours. It's making sure that our personal life is aligned with the business life, and they are both pushing into the same directions, not opposite directions. Okay, and most business owners, they struggle a lot with that. You know, they don't spend enough time with the family. They don't see the kids. They don't go out with the wives. Um, Burnout comes in, frustration comes in, and it's all because of that. It's because they don't have that alignment with their personal life and their business life. So that is normally where I start working with them, clarifying that. Okay, when we clarify that, then everything else is way more easier because it we can put inside certain boxes that is ideal for them. And we are all different. Okay, they all have different needs. So it's creating that life alignment that is for me the foundation of then sort all the other problems.
Absolutely. Now, Nuno, you also created your own methodology and sort of a framework that you really
Yeah.
take your clients through. So I feel like this must be also reflected in terms of how that journey looks like, what are the different stages, and also how long it takes for you to actually take a client from point A to point B and really work them enough so that you can basically set them up for success in the future. Right. So I'm just curious, when you retrospectively look back at all of the people that you work with, what would you say that journey actually looks like from that standpoint?
Um, it is quite quick, to be honest. It doesn't take a lot of time for them to start seeing results. Okay. I also think that, um, again, when you have long targets, it becomes muddle. It's difficult for us. Our brain doesn't cope well with, 3-year plans, 5-year plans. It's too long. Also, the world is changing at a speed that we never seen it before. So having 5-year plans, it doesn't make any sense anymore. So we need to short those things. Okay. So normally what I do, I start with a 12-month plan. Um, and even that, then we break it down in quarters, in 3 months. Okay. And in the first quarter, they can start seeing changes. They can start seeing things working completely different, and they can start feeling being more in control of all these things. Okay. And when they when they feel that, the confidence goes up. And when confidence goes up, everything gets better. And then is just another quarter that we tick some boxes, we make some progress, and it helps them to feel confident, and things go and go and go. And when they finish the 12 months, if when they look back, they just look, oh wow, I've done a lot this year, way more than I
Yeah.
used to. And sometimes it's just because um, sometimes having someone that is accountable, that is just a sounding board for them, that they can go and talk. Sometimes just that is 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 great for them, because be a founder can be a very lonely place to be. Um,
Mm.
you don't have anyone above you. You have your family. Yes, they love you. They don't really understand the business. So it can be a very lonely place to be. So having someone like me that, is outside, doesn't have any interests in the company, it's just completely agnostic to everything, but have been in their shoes, understands their struggles. They can talk to me in a way that probably they can't talk to anyone that they used to. And just that, it makes a huge difference in their mindset.
Yeah, it's quite obvious to me how much driven you actually are about the by the impact that you have on all of these entrepreneurs, which I absolutely love. But I know that there is also a different set of questions that you need to be asking yourself on a daily basis as an entrepreneur. And we all know that one of the main things is to have a good client acquisition system in place. So what I want to do now is also take a look into like the behind the scenes type of stuff and
Mm-hmm.
maybe what is really happening on the front of your marketing, or maybe specifically generating those contacts and leads to have the ability to still onboard new and new clients and keep changing lives?
Okay, that's an interesting question. And look, coaching is a little bit different from IT in that perspective. Okay, so coaching is, like I said, people need to know me, to like me, and to trust me before they engage with me. Okay, if they don't go through these 3 stages, they will not engage with me, because coaching is quite personal. It is very intimate. Okay, so they need to go through these stages. So in terms of marketing, there's a lot of work for me to be able that I touch all these 3 stages before I engage, or onboard a new client. So I have different ways of doing things. Um, Social media, LinkedIn for me is my main stage where I share the way I think. I have a newsletter. I post regularly, not on a salesy way, but more on education, showing out how do I think. You know, Sometimes bringing different ways of thinking about and looking at things. So for me, LinkedIn is more a platform for me to, put myself out there and show what I do. Okay.
Mhm.
Then I do a lot of events where I um, showcase my frameworks. Okay, so normally I do these events online or face to face. 10, 12 people in a room, and I go through my real method, for example, and I show them. Okay, so if you want to make a life plan, what do you need to do to be able to make your own life plan? Okay, so I go through the method, I explain the method, and two things will happen. They leave the session with, oh, okay, I can go and do my own plan, or, ooh, I want more. I want to work with you. I want you to help me to now move forward. So that is a way for me to generate leads.
I love it because
Um,
this is a combination of both staying engaged with your audience and really leveraging the potential of social media, but also doing these things in real life and just showing them face to face who I am, what I'm all about, how I can help you. So I love it. And I cut you off right there. So sorry about that. Go ahead.
yeah, no, that's fine. I also do another thing is here in England we have a program called Help to Grow, which is a program funded by the government, and I'm a volunteer coach on that program. So once in a while, you know uh, I mentor coach business owners that they are on that program. So I give them 10 hours for free where they can experience to having a coach which sometimes also leads to leads because I worked with you, I liked what we've
Mhm.
done the next 10 hours or the previous 10 hours, so can I still work with you? Absolutely. So it's a way for me to generate leads. So it's a quite personal touch. Okay, it's not something I can't just blast emails to people and expect to have people want to be coached by me. I need to have that interaction. Hence, I doing these face-to-face events because people need to like me. They need to trust me and they need to feel that I'm at the same level as they are. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Sure. This is interesting to me, though. And Nuno, I also want to use the opportunity of having somebody this honest, because I feel like I can pretty much ask you anything at this
Yeah.
point. And I know for a fact there is some people in your industry who actually made it happen with also making the offer cold traffic friendly, meaning that they also have the opportunity to just take the information, get very, very clear on what they do, who they do it for, and also invest into, for example, paid ads on social media to just create something more predictable, more scalable, something that is going to get you the results a little bit faster. So, with that in mind, I'm also curious about whether this is something that you already dabbled into, whether you tried it, what is your experience, what is your perspective on that?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Um, so for me, at the stage in my life I am, I don't want that. Okay, I know exactly what I want, and I don't want those types of clients. I want clients that I really like them, that I really build a rapport with them, that I feel comfortable, that I can look at them like they are my mates. Okay, so that is the type of clientele that I'm looking for. I'm not looking to have hundreds or thousands of clients. I'm looking to have a few of them that I can work very closely and you know and enjoy also my work. So my business now is a lifestyle business. It's not a grow and scale business like I had with my IT. Okay, so my
Mhm.
IT companies they will focus on grow scale go quick so that I can exit, cash in money, and that's it. What I'm doing now is different. Is lifestyle. Okay, so I can go to Portugal for a few weeks, a few months, work from there. Come back to the UK. It's way more flexible. I can work whenever I want and who I want also. So that is something that for me is very important. Is I choose my clients. I don't work with just anyone. Does that make
Especially
sense?
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I just wanted to build on top of that, especially by you saying, like, look, this is about the period of my life, right? If you look retrospectively at the companies that you've built in the past, yes, those were the ones who were built for scale, for growth, for a lot more revenue. And now this is more about the lifestyle, but also the component that you mentioned about just being close with those clients. It just gives you much more freedom in terms of how big of an impact it's actually going to have, right? Like if you keep it smaller, more sustainable, there's just a lot more time that you can individually provide to every single client. So I love that, but it also begs the question, though. Obviously, we all know that with the things you've mentioned that are happening, whether that's the email list, whether that's creating content on LinkedIn, doing the public speaking, there is just a lot of activities that you have to do. So I'm curious whether you're trying to run this as a solopreneur and always run it as a one-man show, or whether a part of your plan is to maybe have a lot of help, whether that's on the front of marketing, whether that's on the front of sales, whatever the case might be.
No, I don't want to add anyone to my team. I want to just be me. So what I'm doing is, because I come from a tech background, I use a lot of AI to help
Mhm.
me with a lot of the tasks. Okay, so ChatGPT is a big thing for me. I use ChatGPT to do a lot of the work that I need to be done. Okay, so I pay for my ChatGPT. I don't use the free version. I teach ChatGPT. ChatGPT knows a lot about me. So when he writes for me, for example, he writes with the right tone of voice. You don't feel that he's written by AI. You feel that he's written by me. So I put a lot of effort into ChatGPT to make sure that I created a system that is my team. And that is what I want to keep doing, because I think ChatGPT or any AI system is just going to get better and better, and we will have, we can develop these things even more. So, for example, one of the things that I'm thinking is um, so info products. Info products has been something very useful, very trendy for the last, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. I don't think if info products are going to probably change a little bit. Okay, so they are starting getting less popular. But what I think is going to be interesting is developing, for example, a chat bot that knows who I am, and I can have a product that as a chatbot that can help my clients when they need me, and that chatbot will answer like if it was me. So, for example, for my life plan, if they have a question that, oh, I don't know what I do with this goal. Oh, let me go to the chatbot and ask, what should I do with this goal? And the chatbot it will just say exactly the same things that I would say. So the chatbot knows my framework, knows everything that I know, everything that I put into that chat box. So that is the type of things that I want to invest moving forward to help me to grow my business, but keep the scale as I am.
Yeah,
This
basically
probably
an
sounds
AI version
crazy.
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Now, Nuno, let me ask you my last question. Just knowing that you have such clarity in terms of what you're building, how you're going to get there, what you want to experience by running the business, I'm curious, especially knowing this is a lifestyle business, what would you expect to really become the biggest bottleneck or the biggest challenge for you to keep building it in the same way and getting the same outcome that you're looking for?
Probably do not get too excited and get back to my mentality of grow and scale. I think that's probably going to be my my challenge is making sure that I stick to the plan that I've designed for my next years, and because I can get excited very easily. It's a problem I have, and if if I can see, oh, I can now franchise this or whatever. I don't want that. I don't want to get excited and
Mhm.
go into that route again. So that is going to be my struggle: is making sure that I make the business keep growing and in a stable way, in a way that I can rely on the business for my income, but I don't want to overgrow the business if that makes sense.
It does. It does make a lot of sense. And, at this point, let me just say thank you so much for taking the time today, sharing this lovely story with me and the audience. I really appreciate your time. And if anybody from the listeners would like to reach out, get in touch with you, and who knows, maybe one day even work with you, what is
Yeah.
the best way to go about it?
So, like I said, LinkedIn, it's very easy to find me. My name is quite unique and is easy to find me on LinkedIn. So, Nuno Soares, just search for that. Or just go to my website, which is lifeshifter.coach. There's also, links to connect with me. I also offer some free initial coaching sessions, just, to know each other a little bit more. So yeah, they can find me on those two platforms.
Beautiful. Thank you again. It was a pleasure to have you on.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Now, to our listeners, If today's conversation inspired you as well, make sure to subscribe to Founders Future on your favorite platform. And also, if you're a business owner, more specifically a consultant or a coach, or you have an agency and you're trying to scale the business and really enhance both your sales and marketing efforts, also visit closers.io, get in touch with our team, and discover how exactly we scaled our company from 0 to over 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing, and I'll see you on the next one.